And we're back again. How's everybody doing this evening? This is L.A. Kendrick from the House of Havoc bringing you Who You Calling a Slave in 1844, Part 3, subtitle, Maggot Feast. When we last saw our, gonna jump right into it, When we last saw our guy, Solomon, he was being hounded by Drummond and his slave patrol. So Solomon's wading through the water, and they pretty much closed the gap because they keep flanking him on the left and right, thinking that they're going to get the drop on him. But the Bawaga, the Redeemer spirit, of course, it has a different take on what it's going to allow to happen. And so the slave catchers get nervous after seeing the bodies of the dogs and the other men, and their revolvers, the weapons that they're using, seem to be ineffective. They can't believe that Solomon is doing this by himself. So the guy one of the slave catchers already tells Drummond that, hey, the swamp is cursed. But Drummond, being the prideful, racist slave owner that he is, he doesn't want to hear it. He wants to uphold his reputation that his family has held on to for centuries. And he tells him, Drummond, I think we need to just go ahead and cut our losses, man. This is bad. This swamp is haunted. There's no way we're going to be able to catch him. Just count our losses and let this go. I just don't feel right. Something just don't feel right about this. I don't have a good feeling about this, Drummond. I'm not going to let no nigger get the best of me. My family's been breaking these fools for centuries. And I'm not going to stop and tarnish the good name of the Drummonds. Okay? Just want you to know that. Now, suck it up, get you some pride, and let's catch this son bitch. Man, I hear you, but this just ain't right. Shh, listen. You can hear him over right there, you can hear him in the water. He's waiting. Well, how you know that ain't a gator? That's him. You can tell because he's being real quiet. They've actually closed the gap. They're right there now. And Solomon is being still in the water at this point. Drummond gives a signal for 3 men to go on one side, on the other side, and flank him, and then one go right down the middle to flush him out. And he yells at Solomon, "Come on, boy. Time to go back. They're gonna take you right on back, and we're gonna tune your ass up. Leave me be. I will not be a slave. You stole me from my land. I will fight you to the ends of the earth before I allow you to do what you have done. I am not a slave, never have been, and never will be." Well, you speak pretty good for a nigger. And you speak very poorly for a racist colonizer, Solomon says to Drummond. I will fight you to my last breath, and the Bawaga has my back. There ain't no such thing as a Bawaga. You're just making up stuff. That's just fool talk. Now you get your ass on over here, nigger. We're going to do you in. All right? Just come on. Make it easy on yourself. Drummond, I think he's on to something, man. I think we should get on up out of here, the slave catcher tells him, as the other two flank. Drummond falls back. After looking at the guy that's talking to him, Drummond looks back. Drummond falls back. And Drummond says, I will have him on my mantelpiece. Drummond falls back to a better position with the other 3 guys, and they lay low. So the other 3 guys go around the swamp as Solomon makes his way to dry land, and he's up on a dry platform at this point. The land is dry, of course. And the other three men try to flank him, and one's coming down the middle. And then the Bawaga crawls down out of the tree. The guy that's coming straight in on Solomon is the first one to get it. The Bawaga touches the ground, and when he does, vines, swamp vines come up from out of the ground, grab him and wrap around him, and they start impaling through his chest and through his mouth and through his ears, and the man is screaming and writhing in pain. And the vines become tighter and tighter until they pop, and the man's body explodes, blood flying everywhere, bone, gristle, everything. It is a gruesome, grisly killing. And the other men see the Bawaga, and they shoot their rifles, striking the Bawaga. The Bawaga only laughs sinisterly. And when he does that, he rushes one of the men, and the other one tries to stop him, and he knocks him flat on his back, knocking the wind out of him. So he grabs one of the guys, picks him up, and slams him to the ground, pinning him to the ground, and spits maggots and bile directly in his face. The man is screaming and writhing in pain. He's tearing at his flesh, and the maggots are eating into his skin. And they do this so quickly with the bile burning and boiling into his skin that he's torn off most of his flesh with the aid and help of the maggots eating at the flesh. So all you see is a twitching. Where it used to be a face, you see muscle and gristle and an outline of what his face used to look like, but now it's just been eaten to the bone with hair on the top of his head. And then you see the eyeballs twitch, and then the maggots devour the eyeballs. The Bawaga is laughing. And impressed with what he's just done. And it's not over. The carnage is not over. The other gentleman gets up and tries to reload his rifle. But the Bawaga simply opens his mouth, and thousands of mosquitoes fly from his mouth, and they attack the guy, the slave catcher. And they start biting, chewing, gnawing, sucking the blood from his body. The man is screaming just like the other guy. He's screaming, he's trying to run to get the mosquitoes off. And he can't. And they so violently devour his blood, just completely devour him, that he's reduced to a dry husk, and he falls to the ground. Drummond still can't see, but the other three slave catchers with him, they witness it and they see it. Drummond doesn't have a good vantage point. And the other three men are running, and they're telling Drummond, I'm not going to do this, man. Are you watching what we're seeing right now? This thing is huge, and it's tearing him up. And then you can hear Solomon speak. It is the rage and pain and suffering that you have done to people, my people over the centuries, stitched together with all the hell and rage, and is directed back to you. You are the ones who will be owned in this swamp. You are becoming the slaves. You will be the thing of maggot food. You will leave me alone, and I will have my freedom. You cannot take my freedom from me. You will have to come get me, and I will fight you to my last dying breath. If I have to throw myself to the gators here, I will not go back to your plantation. Drummond yells back, well, I tell you what, boy, I'm still going to have you on my mantelpiece. You're not going to be the first nigger to escape me. Mark my word, boy. My family makes good on catching and killing niggers. I am not a nigger. And you will learn your place tonight, because this swamp will claim you in the worst possible way. And with that, the Bawaga falls right in front of Drummond and the remaining three slave catchers. Drooling, snarling, and laughing. Drummond is utterly petrified with fear, and the other men try to load the weapons, and they take aim. And that's where I'm going to stop the story. We'll wrap up the conclusion Wednesday to Who You Calling a Slave in 1844. This is part 3, subtitle Maggot Food. You guys, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe to what I'm doing. I already have published work out right now. And it's sold on Amazon, Barnes, Ingram, Kindle, Nook. Again, all work copyrighted 2020. Just trying to give you guys some extra stuff to, help with these trying times and have stories told from an angle that you normally don't hear them told from. And, this is horror. Like I say, I have something for everybody. Young, the old, and we're going to get those next 2 new novels out. Again, if you leave a comment, you have a good chance of winning a shirt, one of my fitness shirts from my fitness line, or, get a mention in the book or get a shout out on the comments section. If you want to donate, I have a Cash App. It's $outrage95. Feel free to do that. You don't have to, but it does help. Every little bit helps to get stuff edited and get things done the right way, smoother and quicker. So with that being said, this is L.A. Kendrick from the House of Havoc. Remember, check under your beds, check your closets, check all the dark recesses of your home. If you happen to work at night, check your surroundings, check under your car, because you never know what's lurking in the dark, waiting to make you a story. This has been L.A. Kendrick, bringing you the heavy.